there is real tension between Charles and William. I mean, they do not like each other. They are not on the same page when it comes to how the country should be run.
Oh, the irony. Back in 2020, when Prince Harry and Meghan scooped up baby Archie and bolted from the royal fishbowl, the tabloids lost their collective minds. Treason, they howled from every glossy page and screechy headline. Royalists clutched their pearls, foaming at the mouth about betrayal, disloyalty, and the end of the goddamn monarchy as we knew it. Harry, the spare who dared to dream of a life beyond bowing and scraping, became public enemy number one. Fast forward to 2025, and here we are. King Charles is fighting for his life against cancer, looking frailer than a wet tissue, and his golden boy heir, Prince William, is pulling moves that scream "screw you, Dad" louder than a foghorn. But where's the pitchfork mob? Where's the media meltdown? Crickets, folks. Absolute silence from the very same vultures who feasted on Harry's exit. It's enough to make you gag on the hypocrisy. Let's rewind that Harry tape for a sec, because the double standard is thicker than Charles's infamous organic honey. When the Sussexes dipped out, it wasn't just a family squabble, it was painted as high treason against the crown. Pundits wailed about broken oaths, about Harry abandoning his duties while Granny Liz was still kicking. The outrage machine churned out think pieces on how this one guy's choice to Netflix and chill in Montecito was dismantling centuries of pomp and circumstance. Royal watchers, those self-appointed guardians of the throne, demanded heads on pikes. And the UK press? They turned it into a blood sport, hounding Meghan like she was the Antichrist in stilettos. Now flip the script to Willie and Kate, because yeah, that's who I mean by Clive, the missus who's been playing the saintly cancer warrior while her hubby sharpens his knives. These two are straight up undermining Charles at every turn, especially now that he's battling the big C and can't even muster the energy for a full state banquet without looking like he's about to keel over. Remember that secret powwow Charles had with Harry in London just last month? The old man, tubes and all, reaches out for some olive branch, maybe mend a fence or two before the reaper knocks. And what does Willie do? He throws a full-on tantrum, seething like a toddler denied his pudding. Sources whisper he's sickened by the whole thing, determined to slam the door on any Harry reconciliation so hard it echoes through Windsor. That's not loyalty, that's a power grab dressed up as principle. While Dad's chemo-drained and vulnerable, Willie's out here dictating family policy like he's already got the crown welded to his bald spot. And don't get me started on the Prince Andrew saga, because if Harry's treason was leaving the party early, Willie's beef with his creepy uncle is the real slow-burn sabotage. Willie's been badgering Charles to boot Andrew and that hanger-on Fergie from the family roster for good, treating them like radioactive waste. Fair enough, the guy's a walking Epstein punchline, but here's the rub. Charles has been dragging his feet, all soft-hearted and delusional about family unity, even after the scandals piled up like unpaid parking tickets. Willie, though. He's not whispering advice. He's issuing ultimatums, forcing his father's hand while the monarch's too wiped out to fight back. One minute Charles is fuming over Willie and Kate's sneaky house-hopping plans, ditching Adelaide Cottage for some sprawling Windsor pad without so much as a heads-up. And the next, he's caving to Willie's demands on Andrew, looking like a humiliated pushover. It's brutal, watching the heir treat his dying dad like a lame duck manager he can't wait to bench. But hey, Willie's not the only one with blood on his hands here. Charles? The guy's no saint either, just a watercolor-obsessed eco-warrior who's spent decades playing the long game, only to fumble it now that the throne's finally his. Battling cancer should be his grace under fire moment, right? Instead, he's flailing, making boneheaded moves that leave him exposed. That frankly stupid push to keep Andrew in the fold? Pure Charles, clinging to outdated loyalties like they're his favorite tweed jacket, even as it tanks the family's rep. And reaching out to Harry behind Willie's back? Noble on paper, but it reeks of weakness, pitting son against son while the heir's already circling like a shark. Charles could have used his illness as leverage to unify the clan, but nope. He's too busy being the impressed dad, gushing over Willie's so-called talents while ignoring the kid's obvious resentment. It's pathetic, really. A king who's more pushover than powerhouse, letting his heir run roughshod because, what, confrontation might ruffle the corgis. So why the hell isn't there an outcry? Why aren't the royalists rioting in the streets, or at least flooding the Mail's comment sections with Willie's the real traitor? Screeds. The UK media, those lapdog hacks who've built careers on royal dirt, are suddenly all thumbs when it comes to the heir. No front-page fury over Willie's cruel determination to block Harry's peace overtures. No breathless exposés on how he's miles apart from Charles on everything from Andrew to the monarchy's future shape. Instead, we get puff pieces on Willie and Kate's outrageous display of affection at some ribbon cutting. Because, God forbid we question the future king's side-eye toward his chemo-riddled father. It's selective amnesia on steroids. When Harry pieced out, it was a crisis for the institution. When Willie goes rogue, it's just occasional competitive tensions, like their rival salesman hawking organic veg instead of dismantling a dynasty. Dig a little deeper, and it's obvious. Willie's the golden ticket. The press and the palace courtiers have bet the farm on him being the monarchy's savior, the fresh-faced fixer who's going to drag this creaky relic into the 21st century with his environmental chats and Kate's glossy photo ops. Harry's a loose cannon, a California wildcard who spills tea in memoirs and Oprah sit-downs. Easy target. But Willie? He's the heir. The one with the direct line to the throne, and rocking that boat risks the whole sinking. So they swallow the bile, ignore the angry rows leaking from palace walls, and pretend everything's peachy. Even as Willie plots a radical departure from Charles's touchy-feely, ribbon-snipping style, more action hero interventions, less ceremonial fluff, the media nods along like it's innovative genius, not a blatant thanks, but no thanks, Pops. Truth is, Willie and Charles have never been on the same page. Not really. Go back to the Diana days, and you see the seeds. Willie, the boy who lost his mum to the family's cold machinery, harboring a grudge that's festered into full-blown distrust. Charles, forever the distant dad chasing Camilla's skirts, never quite bridged that gap. Fast forward through the awkward handovers, the leaked fights over who gets the bigger jet or the juicier patronages, and now it's cancer sharpening the knives. Willie's not just stepping up, he's shoving Charles aside, making unilateral calls on family exiles and future visions while Dad's sidelined by treatments. And Charles? He's enabling it, too spineless to clap back, too enamored with his stronger-than-ever delusions to see the betrayal brewing. The real treason here isn't Harry's Montecito jaunt. It's this father-son knife fight playing out in plain sight, with the monarchy as collateral. Royalists scream about outsiders, but the rot's from within. Willie's ambition curdling into cruelty, Charles's frailty into folly. Where's the outrage? Buried under layers of sycophancy and self-preservation. The UK media won't touch it because it might topple their cash cow. Royalists stay mum because Willie's their hedge against irrelevance. And us? We're left watching a king wither and an heir sharpen his claws, wondering if the Windsors even deserve the throne they're so busy clawing over. But let's not kid ourselves, this isn't some tragic Shakespearean drama. It's a soap opera gone sour, with cancer as the plot twist nobody scripted. No saints here, just sinners in crowns, committing the ultimate betrayal, letting personal pissing contests eclipse the institution they're sworn to uphold. As 2025 drags on, with Charles's health a ticking clock and Willie eyeing the horizon, one thing's clear: allegiance? That's a joke. The heir's loyalty ran out faster than Charles's hairline, and the king's too weak to call it. The outcry we crave won't come, not from media hacks too cozy in the fold, not from fans too invested in the fairy tale. So here we sit, popcorn in hand, waiting for the next leak, the next row, the next stronger-than-ever lie to crumble. Because if Harry's exit was treason, this slow sabotage is straight-up regicide by indifference, and nobody's got the guts to say it out loud.